sus, and welcome to episode 312 of Our Life on a Cruise Ship. What does this button do? It's eSIMs, WhatsApp, and more. What's going on?
And our life on a cruise ship.
Okay.
Tech tips and travel tales from the South Pacific still.
Yep, it's pretty cool. We're an educational show about smartphones and technology with us Geeks On Tour. Well, I'm Jim, and together with my wife Chris, we're Geeks On Tour. We live in a cruise ship just right back there and travel the world. Before this, we lived in an RV and we traveled the USA. We love traveling. Are you a traveler? Do you wish you knew more about how your phone can help you in your travels? And do you have questions about your iPhone, your Android device, or the cloud? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads, but we are geeks who teach. And we believe that the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this YouTube show where we pick a topic and go into it in detail a couple times a month, on a regular basis. In addition to the video that's available on YouTube, our Geeks On Tour premium members get written notes for these shows as well.
Very valuable.
Where do they find that? On our website. Everything is collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
Well, Chris, where are we now?
We're in Fiji.
And it's beautiful out there.
We were in Fiji in 2006, and it is one of my favorite diving memories. And we are going to do some diving here this week, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And we're going to participate in a reef restoration project. So that's one of the things that we do on this ship. It's called Global Harmony, and we take part in helping the locals do whatever it is that they need done about.
Most people think about planting trees. We're planting corals. That should be way fun. We did that once before
Back in
Fort
Florida.
Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see if it's anything similar.
Adventures in Paradise.
Right now we are in a town called Lautoka.
Lautoka, Fiji. Scuba diving World War II wrecks in Vanuatu. Vanuatu was very instrumental in World War II. It was a big supply area, and troops would get there and they would have all kinds of supplies and things. And we did 2 dives while we were there. One on the SS President Coolidge, which was a troop ship. Before it was a troop ship, it was a luxury cruise ship, sort of like what we're on here, almost the same size too. But they refitted it to put 5,000 troops on it and delivering them around the South Pacific. However, on their way into Vanuatu,
what a sad story.
Right, they had all these people on there, and they were told to wait at the entrance to the harbor before they came in so they could get escorted in. But they weren't aware of the reason. The reason they were told to be escorted in is because the harbor was mined with U.S. mines. Well, the captain didn't know that because of radio silence and protocols and things like that. So he said, I'm not waiting any longer. He waited a while, but nobody showed up. And so he says, I'll just go in the harbor. And boom. They were hit by 2 mines, or they hit 2 mines, and they had 2 explosions. And one guy, unlucky guy, a fireman in the engine room, he died. But the captain figured things out pretty quick, and he took action. He beached the ship up near where we dove on it, and all of the folks, crew and troops got off, and there was one guy, he went back, he was an Army captain, and he went back because he heard some banging on the hull, and there were some people stuck in there. He went in, he went back, and
a real hero.
He saved these folks, but then somehow he wasn't able to get out. So only 2 people out of over 5,000 troops and crew and people were rescued, and some of them just walked ashore. And then it sank the rest of the way and slid down the slope there, and we went diving on it. So that was the SS President Coolidge.
It's a cool dive. It's a big wreck.
It's a big wreck, and there are a lot of places where you can go and see it. So we just did a little bit of the outside hull and a little bit about the inside, and we have a video on that. But then we went to this $1 million point in Vanuatu, and another cool story. And I'm going to play that.
This one is a fun story.
And yeah, there's a little bit of reading involved, so we'll let you watch that. About that.
In case you didn't catch the text in the beginning, just very briefly, at the end of World War II, the U.S. had a lot of equipment left on the Vanuatu island. They offered it to the Americans and the French.
French and the British.
The French and the British, the French and the British who were colonizing the island for 6 cents on the dollar. And they said no, assuming that it would just be left there. The Americans said,
They weren't having any of that.
They pushed it all into the sea. So you could probably tell that there were jeeps and forklifts and
all kinds of trucks and heavy equipment and supplies, even Coca-Cola bottles down there. And yeah, it was pretty impressive. And that nudibranch, that snail-looking thing that you saw kind of halfway through, that was 100 feet down. So they pushed everything into the ocean, and then they blew up the wharf that they pushed it in off of. So they couldn't salvage it, or made it very difficult to be salvaged.
It was definitely one of the more interesting dives we've ever done.
Yeah. And it was right off the beach. So we walked in off the beach to get to that. We didn't have to take a boat. Pretty cool. Wow.
So our quick tip here is about our website and our life on a cruise ship. If you have any questions or are interested in how we're doing this, what it looks like, just go to geeksontour.com and there's a button that says Our Cruising Life. Or you can bookmark the actual page, which is geeksontour.com/cruising. And let me show you that. Let's say you wanted to see our itinerary, where the ship is going. You go to geeksontour.com, click on Our Cruising Life, and I have links to all sorts of general information and then links up to our specific information, our time on board. So the itinerary data is right here, and it gets updated every so often. This was updated on October 23. You click there and you'll see the whole 3.5 years. I mean, this starts back in October 2024, and you scroll down, you'll see when the South Pacific segment starts. We've already been through Japan and the Philippine Sea. Now we are in the South Pacific. When we're done with the South Pacific, we'll be going to Australia, New Zealand. Then we'll be going to North Asia, etc., etc. So anything you want to know about Our Cruising Life, just go to our website, click on Our Cruising Life. And it is so cool. I mean, I know people who have planned for years, traveled for, 25 hours on a plane and then book a hotel in order to do those dives that we just did in Vanuatu. And what did we have to do?
Well, we signed a contract, we paid our money, and WWII delivered not just the cabin on a cruise ship, but an over-the-rainbow life. So we've seen some wonderful things. We watched the cliff divers in Acapulco. We hiked up Diamond Head in Hawaii. We cruised amongst the glaciers and fjords in Alaska. And we took a baseball game in Tokyo. That was a lot of fun. There are so many things. We scuba dived on the Great Barrier Reef, and all while making wonderful new friends and enjoying lots of conversations and laughter. It's a great life. There's a big community here, and we don't have to worry about the other stuff. There's no shopping or cooking or cleaning or laundry or driving. I haven't driven a car in months, and I like it.
Yeah, that's a trip.
It's all handled for us. And
so we get to go diving just by calling a dive shop and saying,
we're in the area, if we want to go diving, can you pick us up?
It's because we're there. We're just there. We don't have to
and
do
we're
all that
so
planning.
Thankful. This is our Thanksgiving edition of What Does This Button Do? So we're very thankful for all the fellow residents and all the wonderful crew we have, and our captain, who's a friend on Facebook.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We are loving it.
Yep.
All right, now for some technical stuff, still about our life on the ship, but having to do with phones. So there have been a couple of places recently and several months ago where some residents had their phones stolen when they got off the ship. And
doing what they shouldn't have been doing, though. Probably.
So if you want to really protect yourself on certain ports, you might want to have a secondary phone. I have this old, this was the phone that I used maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I kept it. It has no service, there's no SIM card in here. I'm not paying anything to any cellular provider. It has no phone number. It's just a phone. And if I wanted to if I was afraid of having my real phone stolen, I could take this instead. I don't. I like my real phone. I like the camera on it. I have been careful about what financial information is on there. There are several tips on just how to stay safe, but this is one way. You know, have a dumb phone that's not worth stealing, but it doesn't do you any good unless it has connectivity. So that's what we're going to talk about next. If you're on the ship, we have Wi-Fi, and even an old phone with no service can connect to the Wi-Fi. I want to show you that. So here is the phone. It's an iPhone SE, in case you know about them. And it says up here at the top, no SIM. The SIM card is what connects your phone to a cell phone carrier. So there is no SIM on here, no carrier service. And if I open up the Safari web browser, it says I can't connect. It has no connectivity. But if I just turn on Wi-Fi, that little button right there to turn on Wi-Fi, and I go back home, it is now connected to the ship's Wi-Fi. I can open up a browser, retry. There. So now it is connected. So while we're on the ship, no problem. But when you get off the ship and you go into town, as soon as you get a ways away from the ship, you're not going to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. So you need a cell tower nearby, and then you need service that will connect you to that cell tower. Now, some people on their phones pay their home cellular provider for
like
roaming.
Verizon, right?
Yeah, Verizon or
T-Mobile.
AT&T or Vodafone. They're paying for roaming around the world. But other people buy eSIMs. You know, you don't have to get the little physical SIM card anymore. There's electronic SIM cards. And just in case you need to know, SIM stands for Subscriber Information Module. That is the information that tells your phone who you're paying for cellular service. A lot of people on board this ship use something called Airalo. So that's what I'm going to install on this little phone as we record this so that you can see how it's done. There are 3 requirements, and these are absolute. First of all, the phone must be compatible with an eSIM. I mean, some phones, older ones usually, can only take the physical card. I've checked, this little phone can take an eSIM. It must be carrier unlocked, meaning we're not still paying Verizon for this phone. We didn't buy it from a carrier and be paying for it. They can lock you in. It must be unlocked. And you have to have connection in order to get the eSIM. So we're on Wi-Fi, we're good to go. Then you have to buy the SIM, install the eSIM, and then activate the eSIM. So let's do it. The way you get the Airalo eSIM is step 1, install the Airalo app. So on an iPhone, that's what this is, it's an iPhone SE. On an iPhone, I need to go to the App Store and look for Airalo. Saley is another one that we've been hearing about, but Airalo is what most people on board use, so that's what I want to do. And it just says get. So that means the app is free. You just tap get. And you do have to validate who you are. And it's working on it. It'll take a minute. All right. So the app is now downloaded. I will open it. And I can look for eSIMs or I can sign up, log in. I don't think it really matters which order you do that, but I will sign up or log in, and I will just use, I don't really want to create an account and a password. I'm doing this just for the demo, so I'm going to just use the Google. And this phone is set up with a test Google account, so all that is good. So I gave it in an email and a thumbprint, and we're ready for the next step, which is to find the right SIM that we want. And it's telling me, you know, it hopes we like the app. Okay. Like to send you notifications. Allow. No, I would prefer not to be tracked. Where do you need an eSIM? So I like the global option. You know, we could say local and just Fiji. We could say regional and South Pacific, or we can say global. So you pick an area, and then it says that'll cost me $9. That also has a time period on it, so that should appear sometime here. So 7 days, 1 gigabyte, $9. Now, if I was really getting this, I would go for a longer period of time, but this is just for the demo, so that's great. I only have to spend $9 to do this demo. I tap Buy Now and give it a card or a PayPal or some way of paying. And I will do that. Buy Now. So that was step 1. We just bought the eSIM. Step 2 is install the eSIM. Now, if you're at home and you are going to be traveling, you can still do this part while you're at home. And I saw a little pop-up on the screen that said, your SIM is ready. Your eSIM is ready. Open the app to install and get connected. So I just tap on that. Ready to use your eSIM. Install or share. I want to install it. Start installation. And then activate. So that installed it. Now this activate can't happen until you're in your destination, but we are in Fiji, so that's fine. I will allow. And your new eSIM from Airalo is ready to activate. Continue. Well, that wasn't bad at all. I've read a bunch of stuff about how this was an onerous task, but if you pay careful attention to the messages that are popping up as you go, not so bad. Now let's see if it works.
Connected with data.
Connected with data. Now let's do a real kind of test. So here, and let's go to Geeks On Tour. All right, it tells me up in the top here, we have 2 bars. Well, we are inside our cabin. You know, I'm sure this would be better if we were outside and had a view of the cell towers. But Digicel is the name of the service, the local service, and we are connected. So that wasn't too bad. Just to review, then you need to buy the eSIM, install the eSIM, and activate the eSIM. And then you are connected. And this will last for 1 gigabyte or 7 days, right? Is what I paid for.
I think that's what it was.
So now this little phone that has basically nothing on it is connected if I leave the ship or if I'm on the ship. So once you have Airalo installed and working, I just want to show you about the app. This is the app that is installed. If you tap it, you have your user profile, you have the store to buy more eSIMs, or to top off this one when it runs out, you can do that. If you look at My eSIMs, this is where it tells you what you have and how much is left. And this is where you can top it up. So under My eSIMs, pick the one that you need, and if it's running out, you can top it up, and it just tells you how much to spend to add more data to that same SIM. Works pretty slick. eSIMs, good for travelers. But there's still one thing that's missing from this phone. It has data connectivity. It does not have a phone number. It does not have SMS texting capability. And I'm not going to go through what it takes to get a phone number on this. What you do, what people on the ship do, is use WhatsApp. WhatsApp can send messages, like text messages, over a data connection, and it can even make phone calls and video phone calls. I already have WhatsApp installed on my real phone. Let's see what happens when I try to install it on this phone. So I need the App Store again. So I will get that. So I just use the App Store to install WhatsApp, and I agree and continue. Continue. Allow. And I don't want to enter my phone number because that can only work on one device. I tap the three dots instead and link as companion device. It shows a QR code. Now I go to my main phone, open up WhatsApp, tap the three dots and linked devices, and link a device. And it's telling me to scan that QR code. Okay, I scan the QR code. This is saying keep WhatsApp open on both devices. And now it works. So I have WhatsApp on my real phone, and I have the companion WhatsApp on my little secondary phone here, because I use the linked devices feature. So now with this little secondary phone, I can make phone calls, I can communicate with people, and I can browse the web and use Google Maps. It'll be a good device for going ashore. So to review, adding WhatsApp to a secondary phone is called a linked device. You install the WhatsApp app on the second device, find the a companion, link as a companion device, I think it was, and in the settings, the three dots, it shows a QR code. Open WhatsApp on your main device, and depending on whether it's Android or iPhone, you'll find it in slightly different places, but find that link a device button and scan the QR code. And basically, yeah, that does it. You're done. Okay, what's next, Jim?
The power of passports. Oh my goodness.
We are learning more than we ever knew there was about passports.
Yeah, a couple of years ago now, we had to get new passport books, and because of COVID and other problems, it was taking forever to get passports. It should only take a couple of weeks, but you need to have enough pages on your passport to go to all the countries we're going to. And some of the people on this ship are running out of pages for stamps for their passports. So you have to have enough pages to go to the next place.
And most people only travel, once or twice a year. We are traveling continuously. So
Around the world.
We also can't give up our passports. Usually you have to give up your passport in order to get a new one. So we are breaking new ground here. And
we went to the embassy here in Fiji, in Suva. That was our last port. And for other reasons, I had to get some notarized documents. But a few of the folks from the ship were there to get new passports, and that's what they were doing. They were running out of pages, and the documents purser here on the ship tells you that they keep our passports for the most part, and they take care of all of the legalities, the customs and the immigration. And the standard U.S. passport used to be 28 pages, 26 or 28, and
with 17 blank ones
available.
And that's what you need for the countries to stamp you in.
But some countries will take a whole page for their stamp, or even multiple pages for their stamp. We ran into that where Palau, and some will put, you can put 4 stamps on one page, but frequent travelers can request a 52-page passport. And I think the 52-page passport is standard now, and you can get even a bigger one that looks like a book, apparently, with enough pages to be...
And you can no longer just add pages. There used to be a process.
You could just add pages, but now, because of the way they have passports, you have to have a new passport issued. And you can get an emergency passport, but that's only good for a short amount of time. And in certain cases, you can get a secondary passport, so you can have 2 passports. They have different numbers, and it gets really confusing. So we're learning all about passports. And we're going to have to get it straightened out somewhere.
Because we've traveled through 19 countries just so far on this cruise ship.
Right. And this is since April.
And we're going to keep going. So even though we had brand new passports, we thought we were good. We're down to 10 pages, and that's not going to last us another year. So
when we're back in Australia, I think we're going to maybe do it in Sydney, or there are a couple other options coming up. But going back to the United States is going to be very difficult and or very expensive just to do this. So we're figuring it out. We're changing the rules here.
Stuff that you need to learn when you're on this different kind of lifestyle.
It's interesting stuff. Oh, this is fun stuff though. Follow our photo album. Look at these pictures that we've been doing. These are all fairly current, new. And how do you get there?
You can scan that code to join our photo album, or you can go to that geeksontour.com/cruising, and we are on our 4th album so far. I start a new album with every segment of the journey. So you just go there, click on a link.
And that's the South Pacific album.
Yep, that's what we're on.
And if you join it, you'll get notified when we add photos to the album.
Yeah. And you'll be able to make comments. So it's kind of like having our own personal Facebook page for those of you who want to join us.
With just the Geeks pictures.
But I want to mention, how did I get that QR code? Because I think that's pretty cool, and it's a new feature in Google Photos. So I think it's just on the phones, on the mobile, not on the computer. But if I go to Google Photos and open an album and tap the share button down at the bottom, and they've moved it. It used to be up at the top, now it's down at the bottom. Share, and you can get a link to paste somewhere, but you can also show QR code. Pretty cool. And then I just took a screenshot of it and put it in the slideshow. But if I'm sitting next to somebody, they can just scan that right from my phone.
Cool.
And see our photo album. Okay.
All right.
What else do we have?
I don't know. What's next?
What's next?
It's hard to keep up. because we're traveling, and we do stay in a port for a couple of days, but we have a lot of things going on, excursions. We're going to do a zip line. We're going to be diving. We have another week here in Fiji, and then we're headed to Samoa, and then American Samoa. And between those two places, and they're very close together, we're going to do the international dateline again. So we're going to have 2 December 15th.
Okay.
And then we go on down to French Polynesia. We'll be in Bora Bora, and on Christmas Day and
Raiatea, French Polynesia.
And New Year's Day and Papeete.
Yeah.
So some really exotic places where we've never been before, and we'll be doing some diving.
Yep. Definitely doing some diving in French Polynesia.
Remember that old show called Adventures in Paradise?
Adventures in Paradise.
That's us. Well, did you learn something?
I know I did.
Okay. What are the questions? What crucial step in the eSIM process must wait until you arrive at your destination? Is it A, install the app, B, activate the eSIM, or C, purchase the eSIM?
B, activate. But when we went through that process, they used the term activate in step 1. So that was a little confusing, but there are 3 steps: purchase, install, and activate.
You install the app to purchase.
Yeah, and the activation can only happen when you're at the destination, which is a good thing. You don't want to get prepared for your trip, install your eSIM, and then have it accidentally be used and all used up by the time you get to your... So that's a really good thing.
Well, you can top it off, but yeah, you don't want to do that. If you're interested in Geeks Travels on the WWII Odyssey, what web page should you visit? Is it A, geeksontour.com/cruising, B, vvogeeks.com, or C, Geeks on Tour's Facebook page?
A, geeksontour.com/cruising. I try to keep links there for anything you'd want to know. But the Geeks on Tour Facebook page is
a good place to stop by and say hi and like it. Okay. True or false? You can only install WhatsApp on one mobile device.
False. But the secondary devices are called linked devices. Yeah, you don't actually install it fresh. Yeah, you link devices. Yeah. But it works. I have it going on three different devices now: my Android phone, my computer, my iPad, and my iPhone. I have it going on 4 devices.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's living on the edge here, isn't she?
Oops. Number 4.
Number 4, in Vanuatu, why were tons of equipment pushed into the sea after World War II? A, to hide it from the Japanese, B, to clear the island, or C, deprive the cheapskate British and French? I like that.
It was C. It was vengeance. It was vengeance. Yeah.
True or false? If you join our photo album, you'll be notified of additions.
True. I think that's a cool thing.
Well, we want to thank all our premium members. You make our work possible. There's a lot of good benefits there. If you want to join geeksontour.com, you can just use that link, geeksontour.com/join now. And it's $68 for 1 year or $58 annually, and we appreciate you. We have a backstage pass. That's one of the premium members' benefits. It's an online Zoom meeting that we get our premium members to come in, and we chat, we talk about things. You can ask questions, and we promise to answer, and you get the link from the email that Chris sends out regularly, or you can go to geeksontour.com, the member login menu, and that picture there is what you click on.
But we don't know when our next one is going to be, so you need to, if you are a premium member, just watch your email. It'll be soon. And
yeah, it's because we're on the other side of the world. When we were doing these shows live, it would just be right after the live show. We would go on our Zoom and have people come in. Now we're doing it as a special
Yeah, I just can't do this at 6 o'clock in the morning.
No.
No. So we make it work. And
Hopefully.
we'll send you an email when we have a time frame figured out.
Good. So, but for free, you get the free newsletters at geeksontour.com/news, and you can keep up on all the stuff that we're doing, and there are always good information in there, tips and tricks. Never stop learning. It's lifelong learning. Subscribe to our YouTube show, click the bell to get notified, and you know the rest of it. geeksontour.com. So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our YouTube shows?
geeksontour.com, and there's a menu item there that says YouTube shows.
And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters. And there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, back to 2007. Have not missed 1 month since 2007.
New one's coming up this month.
Yeah.
Gotta get busy.
Geeksontour.com, and it's under the blogs menu. Newsletters is under there.
And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
They get to ask us questions, anything they want to know on our Q&A page, the Backstage Pass where we have private Zoom meetings, access to hundreds of our Show Me videos. We're coming up on 1,000 real soon now.
Real soon now, yeah.
And written notes of these What Does This Button Do show. And some people join our membership just to say thank you for all that we do for free, and we thank you.
Okay, become a member, geeksontour.com/join now. That's it for this week, or this
That's
this
it for
show.
this month. This is the last end of the month.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we'll be back next month. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching.